retired people in the community that have got so much time on my hands I don't know what to do with it. I'm computer literate, I've got a printer, I've got an email, I've got lots of administration skills, I've got the willingness to help, I just need somebody to tell me what to do. Now I'm sure there's 100 other people of my age in here.
I think you're speaking for an awful lot of people, and would somebody on the panel like to say something about that, because that's the perennial problem, that there are lots of volunteers and sometimes in a crisis situation the organisation doesn't quite keep up. Any comments?
Well, I mean, it depends on your interests, your availability, your passions, your concerns. There's a million different ways you can channel them. I think in terms of Dr. Haneef himself, he's well served, I could say so, by his legal team and support base, but if they need support they'll let people know, and that the message will go through the networks, and I'm sure there are possibilities, particularly with some of the costs down the track. This guy's had his income stopped, let's not forget, apart from a lot of other things. But as I said, it is about a lot more than Dr. Haneef or even about the Muslim communities, as has been said. It's about all of us, and this isn't the first person who's been crushed by grossly unjust laws. We've had people locked up for years without charge, without trial. I won't start because I'll keep going and I'll get in trouble. But again, going back to that Migration Act, and it's got to come back to people speaking out, because as much as we want to blame John Howard, and don't start me on that one either, politicians follow the community, particularly in an election year, and the community have got to make it known this is not good enough. We're going in the wrong direction and we've got to turn around. So it's not just a matter of slagging off politicians and saying it's all their fault. You've got to get that message out to them, and that means getting the message out to the wider community that you want change, and that this is just wrong.
Can I just bring Dr. Nadia Hassan into this for a moment? One of the things is about strategy. Are we looking, do you think, with your knowledge of the anti-terrorism laws, are we looking at actually adapting them, changing them, softening them, or are we looking at scrapping them? What do you think the strategies should be here?
I think two recommendations from me. One is we are talking about find a balance between security and liberty or human rights. But on one hand we have an anti-terrorism law, but on the other hand Australia doesn't have Bill of Rights. So how can we find a balance then? So that's the first recommendation. We should have Bill of Rights in Australia. Second one, that will be your question. I think the way government deal with anti-terrorism law is more tougher. So I recommend that if for some reason it is difficult for us to repeal anti-terrorism law, I think we should focus on, I think Dr. Haneef's case tell us more about guilt by associations. So I think we should change the notion of guilt by associations. I recommend that we change from associating with to participating in. So we charge people who participate in terrorism. It's more clear than using guilt by association.
I think it's a very clear answer, and thank you very much for that. Another question. Yes, the gentleman in the Free the Refugees t-shirt.
Okay, I wanted to address that question of what we do. I was part of just a dozen people, along with Andrew, who protested at the bail hearing on Monday morning. And it was only organised in 12 hours or what have you. But just being there and standing up, like Mohammed Abdullah said, not being silent, I think was very important to start. Because those images then went around the world to people in India, to people all around the world who saw there are people speaking out against this. And I think people all around Australia looking for people who echo their feelings that they need to be speaking out. So I suppose now I want to get to, well, I think today is part of the campaign for justice. I mean today, not just the fantastic speakers that we've had, but everyone in this room is part of this campaign for justice for Dr. Haneef. I think what we have here is a lot of power in this room and what's out there. I think the government has made a big mistake with what they have done. It shows these laws to be a disgrace and an outrage. it shows the racism. We've got a petition that people should sign and a contact list that people should keep in touch. I think we've all got to keep in touch with each other. I would think that a massive day of national protest all around the country, because they are waging this war against us in public opinion.
Yep.
They are waging this war against us through the media and so forth. We need to say, like Peter did at a certain point, well, they've made it political, bring it on. So we should have a massive day with all the communities. If we have the kind of speakers that we have here, we could have tens of thousands of people, I think, around the country.
That's a great idea.
Hundreds of thousands.
Thank you.
And that we need to do that. There's an online petition as well.
Okay. Great plug. Thank you.